Good afternoon, family. Once again, it's your DC dude. If you are already a subscriber to this channel, I want to welcome you back. However, if you are new to this channel, I recommend that you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can stay in the know about where we're gonna go. Family, it would be quite, what's the word I'm looking for? Uncivilized if we did a video about Marlow Heights right down the street and then didn't follow up with a video about one of the oldest malls in Prince George's County that's still standing right next door. So hang tight, because on the other side of this intro, we're going to do what we do on this channel and have a conversation about the history of Iverson Mall. Gone too far this time. I actually wanted to start this video by bragging about how Iverson Mall is one of the oldest malls in the Prince George's County area. Now, although they have been around a long time, since way back in 1967, it turns out that the developers in this Washington, D.C. area were relatively slow in creating the region's first climate-controlled shopping mall. As a matter of fact, I found out that just about 30 miles down the highway in 1958, Baltimore opened not only the first mall in Maryland, but the second mall in the country. It was called Arundel Plaza. They were closed in 1999. Now, although Prince George's County's namesake, Prince George's Mall, opened their doors in 1959, it actually was a plaza until 1977 when it was enclosed and made a mall. Now, other Prince George's County malls the Iverson Mall is actually older than is one, Landover, which came 5 years later in 1972, and then behind that was Forestville Mall in 1980. So Iverson Mall's story began on April 20th, 1967 with the opening of their first anchor store, Montgomery Ward. It was on this end of the mall, and matter of fact, where you see Roses and Metro, PCS right now used to be their automotive care center. And the store itself pretty much occupied this area where this Rio Grande buffet is and the former meal stands today. Now, as far as the anchor store on the other side of the mall, that would be Woodward and Lothrop. There was a big dedication on July 31st, 1967, opening the 3-level store. So yes, I want to emphasize 3-level store because there hasn't been an anchor store at Iverson Mall with 3 levels since Woodward and Lothrop, or as we call Woody's. Okay, now so with both anchors in place and 77 spaces, the grand opening of the $10 million, over 500,000 square feet center occurred on September 21st, 1967, with tenants such as Lawrence Reed, Limited, and Buster Brown's. To be one of the old school malls built way back in 1967, the architecture style seemed to be a bit ahead of its time. So the upper level of the mall connected 2 separate sections straddling Iverson Street. So on the upper level, you can go from one anchor, Montgomery Ward, all the way over to Woody's without going outside. But if you were on the lower level, you would have to come outside and cross over Iverson Street to get to the other section of the mall. Also, in the rear of the mall, there was a second-level parking garage that also connected the two sides of the mall. Remember when there were water fountains inside Iverson Mall? We would pitch our little coins in there for good luck. Well, by 1985, those were all removed. And so by 1995, one of the anchor stores, Woodward and Lothrop, better known as Woody's, was replaced by a 2-level Value City apparel store. Meanwhile, Furniture Galaxy took over the lower level under Value City. So the Value City hung in there for a while because they opened in November 1st, 1996 and didn't close until February 15th, almost 12 years later in 2008. A vacant Value City space became a Burlington coat factory in the fall of that same year in 2008. Meanwhile, downstairs, when the Furniture Galaxy closed, a section was reconfigured as a sanctuary for the Community of Hope AME Church. I don't remember that one, family. Please put that in the comments. I guess I just stopped going to Iverson Mall and never saw that there was actually a church in the mall. Meanwhile, the anchor store Montgomery Ward on the other side of the mall vacated the premises in March of 2001 and was divided into 2 sections. A department store out of Philadelphia known as Foreman Mills set up shop on the lower level and opened on November 26, 2004 and has been there ever since. A Total Save variety store assumed residence in the upper level of the space. By 2014, Iverson Mall was sold to a joint venture company out of Pikesville, Maryland, made up of America's Realty and Washington's West End Capital Group. Soon after that transaction closed, a North Carolina-based company called Roses opened, which occupies space recently vacated by Total Save. A comprehensive indoor-outdoor renovation was announced in 2016. Outdoor in the sense that all these restaurants you see here were added that face the outside instead of the inside of the mall. Also a part of that revitalization was renaming Iverson Mall to The Shops at Iverson. And finally, the last major change that I'm aware of is when Burlington Coat Factory vacated the mall in 2019 and then was replaced by what we have today, Shoppers World, in November of 2020. So there we have it, folks. As far as the future of Iverson Mall, who knows what the future holds? But I can say this. I started out saying that it's not the oldest mall. True enough, but it's the oldest one that's still standing. As a matter of fact, Landover Mall was built 5 years after Iverson Mall, and their doors were shut in 2002. They were demolished by 2006. White Flint, gone. That mall that I mentioned in Baltimore shut down in 1999. And although PG Mall opened before Iverson Mall in 1959, remember it was a plaza until 1977 when they enclosed it into a mall. On that note, family, we're going to leave it here, but I would love to hear from you in the comments your memories of Iverson Mall. Do you shop there nowadays? What do you think their future holds? Meanwhile, family, you never know where we're going to end up next. So if you want to ride, just click on subscribe. And let me not forget to give a shout out to my primary source. I have put the link in the description. Thank you to the people at mallhalloffame.blogspot.